Good morning, everybody. This is episode 12 of the Great Western Podcast. I'm joined again by David Chu, basketball historian, and all the way from Paris, France, Sylvain, ex-Laker fan. What's up, guys?
What's up,
What's up,
everybody?
guys?
All right, so last week, Chu and I did a more of a detailed dive and a breakdown of the Bleacher Report top 100 players. We went through 100 through 70, and we saw how people that won championships like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and players like who else? Chu, who else was up there?
Parker and Ginobili.
Parker and Ginobili were ranked lower than players of the likes of Paul George, for example, or Jimmy Butlers of the world, who maybe are better two-way players, but um, don't have the rings and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how that trend continues or what that trend does. Chu, what do you think about that?
Well, it's always easiest to switch. If you put Paul George instead of Klay Thompson on the Warriors, what happens?
Right.
That team is probably never losing. And then Paul George looks a lot different.
So there you go.
So again, a situation, if you send Tony Parker to who was bad, like the Grizzlies in
Yeah.
2003. Is Tony Parker the same Tony Parker?
Right. So we're
Never
gonna
know.
yeah, we're gonna give them so that's one of the big questions that I have, and then Sylvain, I'm curious, I think how would you weigh in on that whole thing about like stats versus like, personal accolades or being a two-way player, a number one dog on a team her whole career that doesn't win a chip versus a role play like a really great role player or like a number two or number three on an all-time dynasty team or something like that, like a Parker or a
Well,
Ginobili versus Butler.
yeah, I think what you're getting at is like what factors weigh into the ranking.
Yeah.
What I try to do as much as possible is just avoid narratives and stats can tell a story, of course. We love using stats to support things, but you could manipulate stats to show a million things. Um, I'm a big fan of winning. I'm a big fan of win counts, ring counts.
Mhm.
Uh, Just because I mean, I feel like first of all, the comp to win it all is really difficult, right? So if you're a or B on a win it all team, it's not like all Bs are equal, right? And it's not like all As are equal, right? And so for instance, a lot of people that bag on Kobe will say, oh, well, he was carried by Shaq, but stats don't really support that, right? I got Kobe at 5 rings and none of them have asterisks on them, right? And it was just an A and a B. But whether Kobe or Shaq was A, sure, Shaq was more dominant, etc. We could get into those narratives. But then fast forward his career, Kobe and Pau, you have much more of a higher A and much more of a lower B, right? Of course, Pau to me still has 2 rings. You know what I'm saying? But Kobe to me has a solid 5, right? And I think those measurements are important, but it's also subjective. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh, well, Pau Gasol is the same as Chris Bosh because he's B on the team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to look at everyone individually, and I'm excited to look through this list
Yeah,
and
that's
see
so let's see.
put
Let's
their
see how that
career into
plays out.
context.
Yeah, let's see
So
exactly.
so so real quick,
Real
one
quick
thing that
before
I
we
just
get
wanted to
into it.
mention.
Yeah.
Um, both with Paul George and Jimmy Butler, who were ranked higher than a lot of the
Yeah, that's
championship role
that's
players.
that's
Get
crazy to
into
me.
it.
Yeah.
Let's
I know,
yeah.
Sylvain, you would probably disagree with that, but one of the things that I know is important to you
Uh-huh.
that they didn't take into account on this list is both Paul George and Jimmy Butler have switched teams a bunch of times, where someone like Draymond Green or Tony Parker, they're lifers. I know Parker was on the Bobcats or whatever for
Right.
1 year,
Right.
but
I mean, little
loyalty.
asterisks at the end of the year, at the end of the career, I don't really like those. Like Karl Malone to me was never a Laker.
Right.
I've
Right,
always
right,
hated Karl
right.
Malone too.
So yeah, so
You
that's
know what
that's
I
another
mean?
interesting point. Like what are we valuing, right? Is it staying on the same team, winning chips,
Loyalty.
loyalty, right?
I mean, if you could build and rebuild with the same team, that speaks volumes. Uh, if you hop teams just because you ain't cutting it on one team and you're not winning, and then you go join, multiple Hall of Famers, that tells another story. So,
Definitely.
I hear you. All
But
right,
Hey, do you,
let's get
let's
into
see
it.
these let's see
Let's
these
get
top
into it.
70.
let's
And
do
guys,
it.
I'm happy to announce we have made 25 subscribers,
Woo!
a quarter of 100
Like and
right there.
subscribe.
Right. So this is, like and subscribe. We're on a march to 100 here. We're gonna hit the centennial march to 100. I'm officially calling it. So, if you guys are out there enjoying this stuff, like and subscribe. Let's get this moving. Okay. So here we go. Um, so here we go. We left off at West Unseld. We're gonna pass on the ones that we don't know. And obviously, one of the things I also remembered from last time was just the idea of if we don't watch them play, it's hard really to do it. So we're gonna kind of move on. So let's get into 69. Any ideas? Let's see. Who knows? I have no idea. Here we go. Boop. Oh, this
Oh,
guy,
Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. Looking
talk
for
about no loyalty.
talk about no loyalty. One-time champion, to Rookie of the Year, nine-time All-Star, three-time All NBA. Uh, he's still in the league. He blew out his knee. Hope he recovers quickly. Let's see what he's got with Dallas. But Sylvain, get us going. What do you
Uh,
think about
I
Kyrie
mean,
all
some
time?
people, what I want to try not to do
Okay.
is hype up players that are on LeBron's teams just to devalue what LeBron has done.
Okay.
Um, Kyrie, though, a lot of people say that he has the best handles ever. I
Sure.
don't know what you guys think about that. He has fantastic handles,
His
but to
bag is
say he's
out of
the best,
control. Yeah.
to say he's got the best handles ever, that puts him way up there.
Who else is up there? Who, when you think of best handles, Sylvain, who do you like?
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about that too.
Uh, I mean, the thing is, you can't just have handles, you know? Um, Allen Iverson to me,
AI, Tim Hardaway, Jamal Crawford, Steph Curry. These guys are just on a quick.
Steve Nash.
Steve
Steve Nash had
Nash.
great handles.
Steve Nash. I mean, Curry, what he does I mean, you just watch him pregame, the way he's like warming up with both left and right hand, and like his shortened dribbles. But at the same time, this handles are just handles. It doesn't make you a great
Okay.
player. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's important in an offensive skill set if you want to have a deep bag, right? Kyrie definitely has a deep bag. Do I position him at 69? Well, if you don't mind, who were the few that we know that were like around there?
Now,
Above
Because
do you
I
like
wasn't here
Kyrie?
for the last
Paul
podcast.
Do you
George.
like Kyrie Irving better because he stood up to LeBron?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I think what I like about Kyrie is he doesn't let the media BS get to him, and he's kind of his own man. He speaks his mind. I like that, even if it's controversial.
Yeah,
Um,
he did have a like that a couple years there where there was like he was like public enemy number one almost, it seems like
yeah,
in the eyes of the
it's kind of interesting how some players that'll stick to them and others it won't, And I feel like, it could have been a PR nightmare for Kyrie, but like he switched teams, cool. Water on the bridge, forget about it. I
well, so
think
Well,
let me
when
yeah, let me
the
ask
thing
you this.
is
Yeah, go to
history proved he was right because that whole issue was about the COVID shot.
any okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
I
at
mean,
all
We're
trying to
not
get
gonna
into
get into that
anybody's
right now.
politics, right? So
Okay, so
I
Kyrie, COVID and handles. Okay, so we
yeah, COVID and handles, there you go.
no, but like, is he a better player all time than Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Jimmy Butler? Should he be pushed? Should he be ahead of these guys? What does he have that makes him higher on this list? He has one chip. Is it that he can be an alpha without LeBron? Is it because he's like I mean, defensively, he's not exactly a great player. I don't know if he's a liability, but he's never been known for his defensive game.
He's not
You
a
know,
defensive.
he's not at all like at least Jimmy Butler and PG are two-way players that could also score, right? So I don't know. I know Kyrie.
So I think what we were talking about, being number one on a team, right?
Right,
And other than the teams that he was on with LeBron, he's kind of number one on all his teams, whereas Klay Thompson isn't, whereas Draymond Green isn't. Butler is, but doesn't have a chip, right?
right,
Granted,
exactly.
Kyrie was number two on the year he had a chip, but you know, that's where it kind of gets to a gray area.
Yeah, I say
this
he's too high. I say he's too high on
yeah,
the list.
I think
this is way too high. Okay, so let's just take a minute to think about this guy's career.
I
The
think
only
he's
time he
ahead
was
of Paul
ever
George. I think
the
he's
only
ahead.
time he was ever number one, his team was a lottery team, lottery team. The one highlight of his career, well, he has two highlights of his career. He beats an all-time great. Actually, that team didn't even have Durant. He beats an up-and-coming Warriors team in the finals that the league had to save LeBron by
Right.
suspending Draymond Green. And then last year he had a redemption season where he went to the finals as Luka's sidekick. This guy, not only is he not a two-way player, he's actually a role player, and he's not even he's not even the best player on his team almost all the time. See, he went to Boston where he joined a pretty damn loaded Boston team and just basically wrecked the culture there too. And then he went to so when you think about loyalty, right? He's not loyal at all to any franchise. And he's never been an option. He's never been the number one option except on a lottery team. And
Yeah.
he doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he might not even be in my top 100.
I would, dang, I'm not even the top 100. Okay. You heard it here. It's a
So
hot take.
I like when Chu just like dismisses people as sidekicks. He'll do that a lot to our homie Kobe, which is fine. Let's look up Kyrie's stats to just straight up call him Luka's sidekick. Let's have a look at that, right?
What for last year?
Um, well,
Okay,
last
yeah,
year he wasn't Luka. I mean, last year
or
was
2 years
different because
ago.
there was the trade. But let's go to
Yeah,
the
look up.
2023-24 season, right?
I would also push back. I mean, I think the whole loyalty thing with the moving around in the NBA, I think it's much more prevalent in the last like decade or so than it was in like
So
yeah, but
real quick, if you don't mind,
are we
what
gonna
kind of sidekick?
what are we looking up? Luke,
I'm looking at. Hold on,
are you
maybe I
doing it?
could share my screen.
Yeah,
But
you can
Kyrie
share your
Irving
screen.
in that sidekick
You
year
see it, yeah, if
of
you
Luka
found it.
Doncic going to the finals,
Mm-hmm.
averaged 25.6 points per game, 5.2 assists, 1.3 steals on 50% field goal and 41% threes.
It is
For being
impressive.
a
That is
sidekick, that's
impressive.
pretty darn good.
Yeah,
You
that is
know?
impressive. But then you go, well, maybe because Luca's taking the attention, it opens up to let him cook. And if the
So
Luca wasn't
that's
there,
why attention, things like that, those are narratives. I try to step out of those.
the numbers are the
Kyrie,
numbers, but the numbers, well, if is it just a narrative
That's
or is
because
it a
Luka's getting triple
reality?
teamed, Sylvain. Luka's getting triple
I mean,
teamed.
you said that about Shaq and Kobe, and it's not true.
Well, yeah,
It's
okay.
just not true.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
So
so my theory
Kyrie
holds
Irving,
true.
polarizing figure.
It happened with Kobe and Shaq, and it happened with Luka and Kyrie.
All right. All
All right,
right.
yeah. Well, so I guess
Mm.
I think Sylvain, so tell me if I'm getting you right here. I think sometimes you're saying, well, if you're gonna apply a narrative to one guy, you have to apply it somewhere else as well. So if we're gonna apply,
Uh, I just try to not apply narratives. Yeah, if you are sure.
sure.
I'm looking
All right,
at Kyrie for who he is, and then the list of players you mentioned earlier, I have him above all of those. I have
all
him
right,
above
right.
Clay. I have him above Draymond. I mean, I love Draymond and I love Clay. But as a player, if I had to start a team with a number one guy on my team, I'd have
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving over Draymond and Clay in a heartbeat.
Right, that's a chew
And
metric, right? Right, that's a chew metric. You heard, like the starting a
right,
franchise metric. That's
right.
Start a franchise.
I'm
we'll
I'm
call it the
trying to
chew
use.
metric. All right,
All right, we'll
all
try
right.
the two on the two metric. I have Kyrie over Butler.
Bosch too. All right, so Kyrie, I agree. I definitely think he's a very much a polarizing player with like his,
Very polarizing.
but
And sure, yeah, that's all the narrative stuff. Um,
I think, yeah, yeah, sure. The narrative,
I think he's an intelligent guy, basketball wise, and I think he knows how to adjust his game to other players.
okay,
And he
okay,
went from being a number one guy to a team to then LeBron comes. He has to, be the sidekick and still hit the most important shot to win the game, the
right,
finals, right?
right, right.
As a sidekick, that's a pretty dark, really good. I have him above Pau Gasol as a
All right,
sidekick.
okay.
If I had to have a 1B on my team, if it was Kobe and somebody else, you know, I'd have Kyrie over all those guys you mentioned.
Like a
I'm
true
taking Pau
ex-Laker
Gasol
fan.
to start a franchise. I'm taking Pau Gasol over Kyrie a hundred times out of a hundred.
I would take Gasol as well. I would take Gasol as well. Like a prime Gasol, I would. All right,
I bet you
let's keep this.
Gasol's going to be coming up pretty soon here.
Let's go. Let's see. So now without Kyrie, guys out there, what do you guys think? Are we off base? Who's off base? Who's right here on Kyrie? Who's right here? Who's the most right? All right, let's move on.
Who's the most? Who's
Who's
the
the most
most
right,
right?
most wrong? Okay. Robert Parish.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Example
He
of a
has
player. I know nothing
Four
about his
times
game.
champion.
I know nothing about his game other than that he's just like this in my memory as like a stalwart of defense. Iron Man played for what 21 seasons, like this like player that was kind of historic in his own way. I can't really comment on him. Are we gonna talk about Parish? Or are we gonna move on? It's Sylvain Chu. What do you guys
I
think?
mean, if you're an important role player on a four-time championship team and you've played 21 years, you're going to make this list.
Yeah, two-time All NBA is also a big deal, right?
That's huge.
The thing about that four-time championship, I definitely know one of those championships was the first year of Jordan's second three-peat. He rode the bench on that. I remember he was on that team.
Sure.
And it was his last. It was a big deal on how old he was. So it was a three-time
Let's
as
say
when he
let's
actually
say
played minutes.
three and an
So
asterisk.
he was kind of done at the end. And so that last chip was just Jordan. And he was
Yep.
just kind of a role player.
Yeah, he
What year
probably
was
played like
that?
4 minutes a night.
Like I don't know
That was
enough about
1994.
95, 96. I bet was
I
his
know
last
nothing
95,
one.
about him
95,
besides
96. Okay, so 95, 96. Let's see how many minutes he was playing that year.
Robert Parish.
I would say four.
4 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Robert Parish, stats 90. Dang, he started in 96, 97. So 96, 95, 96. He was in Chicago. He was 94, 95, 95, 96, 96, 97, all in Chicago. And he averaged 16 minutes, 15 minutes, and 10 minutes. 9.4 minutes.
That's actually more than I thought, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 minutes, you're a scrub,
Look, we're
Wait,
gonna give
so he got two rings with the Bulls?
I suppose.
Wow. Okay. He's too high. He's
he's
too high
too
on this
high.
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how what kind of menace he was defensively.
He was a defensive guy, but he still averaged close to 20, between 15 and 20 points most of his
I mean that's
career.
better than that's better than
And
the
he was a nine-time All-Star.
that's better than the Kembe, right? Nine-time All-Star is no joke, dude. You know, the Kembe
Uh,
didn't get 15.
in 81, 82, he was fourth in MVP voting.
That I mean, that's
Nice.
huge. Fourth in MVP, like so, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how to gauge him. It's like that's a pretty big thing. Fourth in MVP voting, like
And he was top 10 in MVP, top 15 in MVP voting one, two, three, four, 5 times in his career.
I
I
mean that's
mean,
gotta say something.
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's really solid. I just don't. I never watch it, so I can't comment on if it's like
Yeah.
you know what. And I don't know all this A B stuff. I don't even know which team was he a part of where he was like the main guy or the second guy. Like I you know which I mean obviously played for the Celtics, but like was when Bird was there was and McHale was he on those teams in his like prime? I think
Yeah.
he played, did he play for
Yeah.
the
He was on
Pistons?
those teams.
Did he play for the Pistons too? I really don't know, dude. All right,
He
we're gonna
started with the
Played
Warriors. All right,
for
next.
here we
There
go.
we go.
This is a modern version
This
of
is a
a
great.
Robert Parish, maybe. This is probably why they're grouped together. The Worm. God.
the
Okay,
Worm.
we'll let Chu take this one. Dennis Rodman, the Worm. I know you know, I'm gonna let Chu start off with this one. What are we
This
talking
is
about?
this is one of my favorite players of all time. I love
Five-time
Dennis
champion.
Rodman.
Five-time champion, two-time defensive player of the year, two all NBA, all-star, eight-time all defense, and a historic seven rebounding titles.
And he had underrated touch and he was an underrated playmaker. And I got to watch him for three straight seasons for the second Bulls repeat. And this guy could guard every single position. He was guarding Shaq and he was guarding like Tim Hardaway. It was awesome. Um, and then that wasn't even in his prime. You know, his prime he was going up against he was probably like the best player to guard Scottie Pippen and Jordan in the bad boy era. When you look at his story too, just like the amount of personal struggle and resilience came from nothing. I believe in the documentary The Last Dance, they have a Dennis Rodman episode. It's my favorite episode because the antics that this guy does, you know, he's flying to go wrestle people in the WCW like the day
Right.
before the finals. It's just like, could you imagine someone doing
He's
that?
in Vegas.
No.
He's in
Yeah,
Vegas, like
he's in
popping
Vegas
off.
like the day before the finals. But you know, for as much off the court antics that he had, he brought it every night, and he won. He consistently won everywhere he went in his prime. So this guy is just like a winner. Did not care about stats. Just wanted to play defense. Wanted to do all the things that no one else wanted to do. Um, another great interview I saw was between his Pistons and his Bulls. He was on the Spurs,
Right.
and
Right.
there's great David Robinson commentary. David Robinson went to he was part of the Navy, and he was this real straight edge guy that was like a hardworking, just like the exact opposite of Dennis Rodman, and he has some great commentary on like the shit that Dennis would do when
What do
he
you
was on the
say?
Spurs.
What do you say? Like what?
Oh
Like,
no, just I honestly I can't remember, but
yeah.
I remember thinking because David Robinson was another one of my favorite players in the '90s, um, and great move by the Bulls franchise and Michael Jordan to recognize the opportunity to buy low on Rodman. Um, I believe what happened was, yeah, Jordan came back and they played the Magic in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and their front line was just not where it needed to be. Horace Grant was gone. Horace Grant was on the Magic, and they knew that for if they wanted to have any chance in the 95-96 season, they had to go
Right.
through Shaq.
That's some good history right there. That I remember that. I remember that. Horace Grant left Chicago, to go join up with the Magic, and that was huge.
Yep. And then yeah, so they had to go get some frontline defense, and they got one of the best ever. And watching Shaq and another great classic Rodman is in the finals against Malone where they're just tripping over each other. This is the best, dude. He just
Yeah.
got in people's head and people's heads, and just like a winner. And like I think the antics, and he had a few years when he went to like the Mavericks and the Lakers where he was just kind of a distraction because I think he is kind of crazy. And I just thought his daughter is like on the U.S. women's national team for soccer.
Yeah,
Freak
I didn't
athlete.
know that. I didn't
Yep.
know that. That's cool. All right, Sylvain, what do you say? What do you think about
I
that?
love Dennis Rodman. Um, the entertainment value, first of all, is there. Anybody who's a defensive hustler, I don't care about any sort of stats if you're
Sure.
there, because I think the end of the floor that the stats least represent, yeah, you could get rebounds or steals or blocks, but there's so much that gets into defense that doesn't fill the stat sheet. So watching him play, he did so much, like diving for loose balls, just getting the psychological game was there too. Like he just frustrated offensive players. Um, I think he hit a three on the Lakers once.
Yeah.
That you watch. I mean, I will say you've always been a champion, Sylvain, of defense and not even stats related defense, like not
Well,
steals
you
and
can have so much impact
yeah.
to the game that isn't stat related, and I think he's a good example of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, the antics are one thing, but what he did on the court. And again, I only really remember those last years when he was playing when he was playing with the Bulls. I don't really recall what much of it was going on with Rodman with the Spurs, even with those early Pistons teams. I mean, he was really like kind of a question mark with the Pistons, right? I mean, I feel like he was almost like not out of the league, but like it was really challenging to like kind of wrangle him, so to speak, and have him committed to ball and stuff like that. So I think that speaks to like the Zen master Phil Jackson letting this guy do his thing and go to Vegas the night before, in the middle of the NBA finals, right? Like there's a certain coaching ability to that too. Um, I mean, but I love the worm, let's be real. I
It's
really
So
great.
real quick, I do remember a thing about Rodman. So I believe the Pistons, their starting power forward was Adrian Dantley, who was like one time one of the best offensive players in the league, and I think they traded Dantley away to give Rodman more time, and that's when the Pistons really started to win championships. And there's a famous Chuck Daly quote, who was um, coach of the Dream Team and the coach of those bad boy Pistons, where he says, "You don't put a you don't put a saddle on a stallion,"
right, right.
when talking about Rodman.
Yeah, he won.
So
He won.
he
He
saw the
won a
talent
ring.
and was like, "No, you let this guy go. You let
He
him
won a
run."
ring. He won a ring with the Pistons, right? Or no?
He won too.
Won two, yeah, right. Yeah, that's a big five-time champion. Like yeah,
Mhm.
three with the Bulls. I mean, in 14 seasons, that's great, right? I mean, I remember I bought his jersey when I was like this exact one when I was a kid. Uh,
This
but
one is so sick. I love these
yeah,
pinstripe jerseys.
here and before
Yeah.
before we move on, any before we move on, I was gonna kind of do this here. You had mentioned it, Chu. We did it last time with Van Gundy and Lonzo, right?
Yeah.
Look. This is,
Hmm.
these are some real choice cuts, like you see you see WCW or WWF, whatever it is, you see them on the court. Like, I mean, like, look at
If
this.
Horace Grant is guarding Malone, is there any chance that the Utah takes one of the chips?
Yeah,
Okay, dang.
dude. Hold
Okay,
on, Mark, go to the video. Go to video and just watch that.
which
Watch
one?
the first one.
This one right here.
Or the second. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, the second one, that one.
This one, yeah, this one. This is the classic.
Watch how much Rodman's in this guy's head.
Yeah, he's like bothering him so much. Yeah, and that's good defense.
And
That's good
that's
defense.
stuff you don't get stats for,
That's good
you know.
defense. Yo, hey, Emin, pamagudegor. Sorry, my dog is my
The
Max
worm.
is ripping up Jerry Sloan.
I mean, I got to see who's ahead of him, but I think he might be rated a bit too low.
Oh wow, bring him up the list, up the list. Okay,
No, that's
starting a
that's a
franchise.
great.
You want Rodman or Kyrie starting a franchise?
Oh,
Ooh,
starting a franchise, Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. But you can't, it's not just a one player team. Like I'd
right,
have
right.
Rodman on a
Basketball is a
chip
team
team, like
sport.
immediately I'd have him on a chip team.
Boston, this I love what I mean. This is great, dude.
could you imagine a team with both Kyrie and Rodman on it?
Dude.
Also, would Rodman be able even to play in today's league, or is the league too like whistle happy and like not physical?
Other
Like, I
questions?
mean, Draymond barely gets to play, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So yeah, so you okay, there's a lot of question marks here. Again, who's most right? Who's most wrong about Rodman? You say you take Kyrie, you
Well,
kind
let's see who's up
of like
there. But
according
you
to this
can,
list,
as you can see, like the chew metric, right,
yeah.
is a great one to have, but it doesn't put you ahead in this list necessarily, right?
Rodman is definitely one of he's the most unique player on this whole list for sure.
He's ahead as an all-time great right now. They're saying Bleacher Reports got him two ahead of Kyrie. Let's keep moving.
He's the most unique player. Look, I bet you no other player averaged 7.3 points lower than 7.3 is on this list.
That's a good
Probably not.
that's
Probably
a
not.
good bet. All right, boys, let's keep moving. We are cooking. We're this is a deep dive, but hey, it's all good. Let's keep moving. Let's see who's next. Oh my God, it's gonna be another defensive player. I'm calling it because it was Parish. Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
oh, this guy. If you're Joel Embiid. I mean, I'll start on this one. I mean, I don't understand how you can put Joel Embiid ahead of Rodman. I don't understand. I don't understand it. In an all-time list, obviously, Joel Embiid is a great player. Hopefully, his knees are not washed. He hasn't played 10 seasons in the NBA. The MVP season, people you could have given it to Jokic. He is an all-star. He is an all NBA type of talent. But what has he done in the playoffs? I don't know. It's like I look at Embiid, I love his game. When he's healthy, he is the number one guy. He's a perennial talent, but talent shouldn't make you on an all-time great list, in my opinion, over a five-time champ kind of thing. Yeah, maybe it's hard. He's a two-way player. He's a great defensive player. He's a great offensive player. He really is a total package. But the numbers are there 27, 11, and 4. He's solid, but I have a hard time putting him ahead of these other guys that we were talking about. I really do.
I think this is the epitome of a player. If your head ain't straight, you're not gonna win. He's had the talent. In
Yeah,
fact, well, last year's a different story, but when I looked at the Sixers on paper last year, I was like, dude, if they stay healthy, they're coming out the East.
right.
Granted, all sorts of things happen there. But he's huge. He's got the skills,
Yep.
but he doesn't win,
Yeah.
right? Either he's injured or, whatever drama happens to his team.
Ben Simmons is his teammate.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done anything. So I think this is too high for him.
Chew, where you
this
at?
I totally agree. He shouldn't even be in the top 100. He um he robbed Jokic of his fourth MVP, clearly.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of those 9 seasons he wasn't even playing. He has been the circumstance of a few bad injuries, and a lucky Kawhi Leonard bounce. That
Right,
was probably his best chance to win it that year.
right, right.
But he had prime Jimmy Butler, and when Ben Simmons was playing basketball, he had prime Ben Simmons.
Harden
The
too.
problem was that
Harden
that
go
fit
there.
that
Harden
fit
too.
was what's that?
Harden as well.
And Harden, yeah. Yeah. But the fit with Ben Simmons was always they tried to force it, and so that is unfortunate. Another funny thing to watch is, a lot of Nuggets Twitter, they always talk about how Embiid dodges Jokic. You should see how many games he sits out against the Nuggets. It's hilarious. They never play each other. They played each other in the past like 5 years, they played each other like once.
Look it up.
I mean,
How
this
many
guy
times?
also never plays, you
Yeah.
know.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
but this
mean,
guy,
you can't make a list of top 100 players with a guy who has shown flashes in the pan of greatness, but hasn't been consistent. Like I feel like he's like a Grant Hill kind of type. Now that remember we were talking about it last week, Chew, with like injuries and prime years, like like okay, yeah, you can when you're playing, you put the stats up, but you don't make deep runs in the playoffs. You are the number one guy. Clearly, you have the skill set. I mean, look, scoring champion and all defense. That's an elite level of NBA talent.
that's true.
How many players can say that they've been a scoring champion and an all defensive player? Kobe maybe, right? But am I right? Kobe, right? He was for sure. But again, I like Embiid. I don't want him not to succeed, right? But I mean, who knows to say? Like his knees, he's a big guy. His knees don't hold up. But like you said, like if we're talking about the nitty gritty, about going into the minutia of things, you know, he's been loyal to the Sixers. Is he a good leader? I think he's a good leader. I don't know if maybe he's a little bit too he calls out his teammates a little bit too much in public, maybe. I don't know. Maybe people might be a knock on him for that. But that's just my perception of him. But I don't think he should be ahead of Rodman. I really don't. Even though Rodman is like, it's not a two-way player. It's like, what are you gonna be valuing as an all-time player? I just don't see Embiid in that level just because of the injuries and the lack of winning, regardless of what the stats say, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well said.
Anything else before we move on from
Let's
Embiid?
move. I don't even like Embiid. Let's move
Okay,
on.
let's move on. Let's move on. All
Yeah,
right.
kick
He's
this bum
annoying,
off the
man.
list.
He's
Here's
just
another one.
obnoxious.
Okay. So now we got Vince Carter, right? 99 rookie of the year, all time, eight-time All-Star, two-time All NBA. Also has a long man? No, what is it? Longevity award. That's long man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. That's like what am I saying? Long man, Iron Man, right? Uh, who's got a take on Carter? What do you guys think about this guy?
Go Sylvain.
I loved watching him.
Yeah.
Uh, highlight reel for
Yeah, the,
sure.
the slam dunk, the honey, the jam, the
Yeah,
iconic slam dunk.
yeah. He had a lot of injuries that took him out for a while. So I remember like thinking he had retired or whatever, and the next thing you know, he's on a different team.
Oh, are you muted,
Yeah,
Mark?
too high on this list for me.
Yeah, this guy is way too high on the list.
Way too
He's
high,
He
he was
hasn't he
number
hasn't
one.
won he never won a chip, right? Did
right?
he ever make
Nope.
it deep anywhere? I don't think so, right?
He was
I
the
think
Uh
the
number one
close.
guy. He was the number one guy on the Raptors for a long time, right?
yeah,
And then forced his way out, so there's no loyalty with him. And then he was on, I think he went to the finals with the Magic. Was he on that team with the Howard?
Griffin I have him ahead of Blake Griffin for sure.
I don't know. I don't. Was he on
But
that
to
Magic
me,
team?
he's like a similar career. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
highlights, cool, but never really won anything.
I would figure 16.7 points doesn't seem like very high either, like for a guy who's
Exactly.
supposed to be a scorer.
But that's because his last like 8 years, he was averaging like 8 points a game.
Fair enough, fair enough. But
True, true.
I think people like Carter. I think people it seems like he's kind of when you think about Carter, it's like he has a good like he has a good reputation maybe, but yeah, I think he's probably too high, like he's probably too high.
Yeah, from a cultural standpoint, like bridging that era of the 90s, early 2000s, the post Jordan era, from a cultural standpoint, he was very influential.
I'm pulling up some of his highlight dunks. I'll mute
Dude,
it so we can
dude,
keep
watch
talking.
the type in Vincent Carter versus Clippers dunk, where he reaches way the fuck back.
Okay, you wanna share your screen, Sylv?
Yeah, I
Take
think
a
for
look at.
each player, we should pull out some of this stuff
I mean, I can do it
while,
too. I can do
while we talk about him.
I can do. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it.
Okay. All
Because
right.
I'm the host, Sylvain. Okay,
There you go. There
I
you
do the
go.
screen sharing. Okay,
Do your job.
okay, do my job. Do my job. Okay,
Type in Vince Carter Clippers dunk. It's very famous. Watch how far this.
Clippers dunk.
Yeah, that
Let's
one. That
this
Yep,
first one.
that one. Yep.
Okay.
Watch this thing, dude. Watch how far he reaches back.
In terms of greatest dunkers, I have him in my top five for
Oh
sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
but we're
He's
talking about
probably
all
even
time
top
greats.
three. I have Sean Kemp and Carter.
Okay. Is that Odom?
Yep.
Yeah, is that
That's a
Odom?
young Odom.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here, this one.
Yep, this is it.
I remember this.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was an
Oh
iconic,
my
classic
God.
snapshot there. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely a highlight reel. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The talent's there,
Where
but to
was
rank him above, I mean, I'm taking Klay Thompson over him every day.
Yeah,
Klay Thompson is like my ideal player to start a franchise with around, like
to
he's,
start?
well, because he can shoot anyway. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying.
I
Like four-time
mean,
champ,
yeah,
defensive
okay.
player. Okay, let's keep moving. Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
Let's move. Let's keep moving. Oh, Dame.
Dame Lillard?
Yeah. Why are you
I
why are
love
you
Dame
surprised?
Lillard.
Are you surprised? Is it too low? Why is he this low?
Maybe because he hasn't won, but that hasn't affected anyone else in the list.
Here's
Dame to me
he's ahead of
is,
people who've won,
I
right?
have Dame in top 50.
I think it's low for Dame. I think it's low for Dame. The loyalty is there, the clutchness is there, the scoring is there. He's not a defensive player, but he has taken he took what? He got to the Western Conference Finals once or twice, right?
Once. This
Once.
is way too high for him.
You say way too high. Okay, so the seat's polarized.
On
Wow.
the true metric, I have this guy pretty darn high.
But
I'd
he's
start
low,
a franchise with him.
but he's been loyal. He's clutch. He scores. So you think so even though he has those things, why do you think he's too high, Chu?
Again, it could be a situation, but he doesn't have he didn't even make, he's made the conference finals one time.
Seven-time All NBA, 7 time.
Yeah, he's made the conference finals one time. I mean, it's not like, he doesn't play defense. Um, I don't know if you switch him with he
I
came
mean, he
into the
was
league
in
right.
Portland his
I think.
entire career,
I mean,
you
I don't
know?
know. I think he's good, dude. I think he's
He's
one of
very good. He's very good, but I'm taking the majority of players that we've gone
All
through
right, let's do
already.
another true metric. If you swap Dame Lillard with Steph Curry on that Warriors team, are they winning any?
That's a great question. I don't think he's as good as Steph Curry. I
No,
think
no,
it's gonna be
not at
close.
all. Not at all. But are they winning any chips? My point is, you said he's only made it to the Western Conference once or whatever. But look at the team he was on.
CJ McCollum was his
And
number two.
CJ McCollum, right? CJ ain't even near this list. He's not even touching
Yeah,
this.
that
You
was
know
a
what I'm saying?
terrible fit. That was a terrible fit during Dame's prime.
Right.
Like no
So
defense.
Dame's prime was essentially wasted in Portland. I think he had 1 or 2 years with a washed up old LaMarcus Aldridge, you know.
Yeah.
But
So what are we valuing here? Like when do you get to say that like even though this guy didn't win, he's still an all-time great? Where when that
I
guy,
have him in my top 50.
I think I like Dame time. That one ice cold shot,
In Paul George's face,
Paul
and
George
Paul
fish, and
George
it
was
has that
like,
it
"Oh,
has
that
that
was a bad shot." It's like, nah, dude, he practices those.
he drilled it too. So
That was to eliminate him. And I think the year prior he had just done that against Houston.
yeah, I like Dame Lillard. I think he is an all-time great. I think he has that confidence and he has that ability and I think you can start a franchise around him. I think I do think the Blazers didn't put enough around him to put him over the top, but it is tough in Portland. It
And
is.
let me say mention something about the Bucks. Immediately, well, first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of Giannis. Um, but that's just not a good fit. Uh, I watched quite a few Bucks games, and down the stretch, you got to let Dame be Dame. You got to let Dame hit those shots, Dame time all day. And you see Giannis instead drive in, bulldoze in, missing layups, and then getting to the free throw line, but missing free throws. You know what I'm saying? That was just not a good fit for him. I think if you surrounded Dame with the right talent, he would have been, multiple chips. If you had him in Steph Curry's shoes with that type of squad around him, he would have at least won 1 or 2 chips.
Okay.
Yeah. Way too low for me.
Wow.
top 50,
Yeah,
top 50 player.
I'm gonna make a poll on. I'm gonna make a poll for all these. Do you guys agree
Sure.
with? Do you guys agree with Sylvain and I, where he's he's too low?
Mark, do you have him top 50?
I mean I would put him top 50. I mean I have to see who's ahead. I have to see of all the players we saw. Like I'm the most surprised to see him here.
What we should do is over the next 15, be like, is Dame Lillard going higher than the next
Okay.
15?
All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Look,
All
we've been
right,
going.
let's go to the
Let's
next.
go. We've been going for 40 minutes. Let's keep pushing it, go guys, a little
All
bit.
right.
We're cooking right now. Let's see who's next. All right. We're
James Worthy.
worthy. I'm like, is this a place where I can't I'm not gonna skip it as a Laker fan, but I never watched him play.
I mean, here you have a role player, right? This
He
guy was
was
on teams with
seven-time
Kareem.
All-Star, seven-time All-Star role
Yeah.
player,
Yeah,
Finals
yeah, yeah.
MVP.
Oh, he got a finals MVP?
Yeah.
What year was that?
Don't know. Never watched it. Right. So it's like
What year did he get
so
finals
Kawhi
MVP?
Leonard won a Finals MVP when he was the young guy on a team with an aging Parker and Ginobili. So it's like this narrative about like like fit and ability. Okay, well you look at a player like this. Okay, you say he was a Finals MVP and he's a seven-time All-Star. Yeah, he's number three, but he's like a serious number three, right, on those teams.
Mhm.
Yeah, seeing him up there makes me realize how spoiled we are as Laker fans because we had teams
Who do you
with
mean by we,
10.
by the way? Look, who do you mean?
Sorry. Literally, it says
It's
ex-Laker
your
fan
name,
right there.
buddy.
How
Okay.
spoiled I was as
Okay.
a Laker fan. Granted, I wasn't watching at this time period, but we Lakers had teams
Yeah.
with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, right? That's just monstrous.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah. I mean,
The one thing about Worthy that I remember is that he was on Jordan's team. He was a junior when Jordan came to the North Carolina Tar Heels, and he ended up becoming the number one pick of the draft in like the 70 or like the 82 or 83 draft. And
Whole career
he's
on
like, yeah, I was the
Lakers.
best player on the Tar Heels for about one practice. So
he's
just
like,
being that good, be the number one pick, and watching a young Michael Jordan come into high school or coming into college, and just being like, oh shit.
I think Max is here to weigh in on Max is here to weigh in on James Worthy. What do you think, bud?
Hooray.
I don't
What's
know.
up, Max?
Keep moving.
I really want to know what season he won Finals MVP. Let me look it up.
Look it up.
What
Look it up.
season did James Worthy in 1988?
Yeah, us millennial types were, we were in the cradle, we were in the cradle at the time.
So on that team,
That
he must have
that
had
was
just a
an
great performance because
aging Kareem.
Aging
you
Kareem,
had Abdul-Jabbar, you had Magic Johnson, you had Michael Cooper, Kurt Rambis. That was
solid.
a that was a big team. You had Michael Thompson.
Was Byron Scott on that team still?
Byron Scott was on that team.
Dude, that team was stacked. Oh my God.
AC
Yeah.
Green.
No, okay. Ahead. So this guy ahead of Lillard or not?
I have Lillard ahead of him because I'm looking
Yeah.
at his stats right now. The
Yeah.
Sure.
guy never averaged above 21 points.
Oh, oh.
Oh, here we
My
go.
finger. I'm sorry. My finger slipped. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
All
So
right,
go, Pal.
let's move
that's
on to the next one if we want.
my bad.
I'm taking Pau above Lillard all day. I love Pau Gasol. This guy was gifted, gifted to the gifted to the Lakers by Jerry
Let it go,
West.
Stu. Let it go. Two times MVP, Rookie of the Year.
David's doing what I try to avoid.
Rage baiting. Rage baiting
Hype
you.
up players that you're trying to downgrade his teammates.
Uh, oh, right. So if I'm getting this right, Sylvain, you're accusing Chu of intentionally building up Pau Gasol to detract from Kobe's greatness.
Yeah, yeah.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Chu,
Yeah,
how do you?
yeah.
What's your rebuttal? What's your rebuttal to that? Are you doing that?
Listen, all I can say is that if you actually look at that trade, and I remember when that trade went down, how shocked the whole league was.
Yeah,
They
everyone
got
was. But that doesn't
nobody. They got like
What does it
Javaris
have to do with
Crittenton.
his? What does it have to do with him being so good that Kobe's not good?
yeah.
Well, it's not. Kobe is amazing,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Okay.
But there can be two things true at once. Kobe can be
Sure.
amazing. The Lakers got gifted Pau Gasol.
They did. I agree.
Yes.
They
But
got
we're
gifted.
talking about Powell's greatness,
Yeah. Look at him. 17 and 9,
right?
18 seasons. Yeah. He was. I mean, he's huge. He's huge.
I and Sylvain, your comment about the difference between Kobe and Pau, I don't know which one. I think it was the second, so it's Kobe's fifth championship. I think Pau might have been the better player in that final series.
I
I
love it.
can't
I
agree
love
with
it. I
that.
love it. This is good. This is good. What do you guys think?
Kobe haters, Kobe hate. I've heard that from many Kobe haters, but I can't even
You
come
don't see
close
it?
to seeing that.
Who out there? Who
Game seven, maybe, sure, game seven, but Kobe played really well defensively, and there's so much again that stats don't show, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
Kobe led that team.
Yeah. I mean Pau Gasol, he was dominant and he was an amazing B this whole AB thing to Kobe, right? Like he did what he needed. He could score, he could play defense, he was a big guy. Um and he was an all-star in his own right in Memphis, right? Before they moved him. I remember the day I was at UC Irvine driving a shuttle, driving a bus. I was a bus driver, Zot UC Irvine. And I got off one of my shifts and one of my coworkers was like, "The Lakers traded for Pau Gasol." I'm like, "What?" And then I was like, "Who do we have to give up? Who do we have to give up?" And then I found out, like Chu was saying here, that it was nothing. I was like,
Yeah, it was a
"Yeah."
steal,
I was like,
absolute
hell yeah,
steal.
you know. So putting aside like this, like the narrative of like, well, Lakers can get whoever these things. I understand that that's a real thing. I'm not going to be one of those Laker fans and think, oh, we're Los Angeles Lakers, we deserve it. We deserve all the best players for nothing. Blah blah blah. That's I can accept that those lines are out there. But when you
Real
look at the
quick.
product, yeah, what's up?
Okay, so the second title was in 2010.
Well,
Yeah,
this is going to be good. This is
In
going to be very good because
in
I bet you the stats are
in
going to be closer.
in MVP voting,
let's hear it.
No, no, I don't want
you have
MVP voting. I don't want
We'll just
no,
say,
no,
narrative.
no,
we'll
just
just say,
real
say, just
quick,
say, we'll
just
just say
real
it first.
quick.
Yeah.
Pau Gasol is never in these MVP voting lists. Okay. You had LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, many of these guys who
Show
were
me the stats. Show
LeBron's
me the
teammates.
stats from the finals against the Celtics. That's what I want to see. The seven game stats, Kobe versus Pau.
In
And while
2010.
you're looking that up, one thing I want to
Mark,
mention
why don't
Pau
you pull it
Gasol.
up?
Let me see here. We're looking at. Okay, let's see here. I'm
There,
gonna try.
Pau Gasol had no weaknesses. I can't. He had zero weaknesses. He was a good shooter, good free throw shooter. He had
20
touch, great defensive player. I mean, this guy had he doesn't have finals
statistics
stats. Yep,
stats. Okay, let's see here. Let's see.
there we go.
Let's see if I can find this right away here. Let's see. We're looking at. Okay, so this is the series right here.
Just type in 2010
Let's see here. Here
Oh,
we
go
go.
Pau
down. Here it is.
Here
Here
Gasol.
we
it
go.
is. Here it is.
And a world peace.
2010 Pau Gasol statistics.
These are
Final
totals.
statistics.
Oh, go to advanced stats. Go scroll down more.
Okay.
There we go. This is what we want to look at. Okay, let's see how close this is.
Oh wow. This is Kobe was at 18. This is points, right? Game. Is this points?
Playoff
Game score,
series,
yeah.
what?
Kobe was averaging 18, 18.
No, that's game. That's GMSC. Hold on. Go down more.
That's
Scroll down
games.
more. That's
Okay, okay. Where are we looking here? I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't ready
oh,
for
maybe it is. Maybe it is. What is
it.
GMC? Is
It's
that
game
games? Is
score.
that
Yeah, it's game score. These stats are weird though. Oh, here we go. This point PPG's up here. Look, Kobe was averaging 28 points, 4 assists, but Powell was averaging 18.
8 rebounds, Kobe.
Yeah, eight rebounds for Kobe is legit. 18, 6, 18, 12, and almost 3 blocks. These are some monster numbers, too. I mean, I'll agree with you. Like almost four. They both average assists. Kobe got 2 steals. Yeah. I mean,
now? Keep in mind, no more than 20 minutes ago, Sylvain was saying that there was a huge gap between Kobe and Powell.
Yeah,
Okay. Now
yeah.
that's what I want to show you. Look at field goal
Yeah, you're talking
percentage.
about one series though.
field goal percentage, 405 versus 478. I mean,
Oh my God!
You're
Look at that.
talking
He's
about
he's
you're
he's
talking about
eight.
one series.
He's
Go
eight percentage
look at
points
the
better.
numbers. Look at the numbers Kyrie had and Dwayne Wade had compared to LeBron in the finals.
I'm not gonna look
Hold
that up
on.
right now. I'm not gonna take it, but I
I'm
get.
just saying there's a
Yeah.
bigger gap.
Okay. We need some
So
stats.
there's two
Some
there's
stat
there's
people.
two things I want to point out here. Efficiency. Kobe Bryant shot didn't even shoot 41% field goal percentage,
Mhm.
while Pau Gasol shot almost 48%. And the other big one is turnovers, 27 versus 13 to Kobe.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, you have
This is
one guy who's
close.
a guard who handles the ball where the offense runs through him, who's a
Steals,
shooting
blocks,
guard.
assists. I mean,
He clearly didn't have an efficient shooting series. It's a 7 game sample. We all know the notorious game 7 where he shot the ball horribly. That's going to bring
yeah.
your percentage down. You know,
But
you
like,
can't,
like
you can't make an
guys,
entire argument
but,
based
but
off
let's
of.
but let's also say let's remember, like at the end of the day, it is we can look at stats, right? But it's a team sport. They played well together. It's I mean, I wonder
And
for
what's great is look at the rest of these guys.
Meta World.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Jordan
Shannon Brown
Farmar,
got the most run, like that 7. Yeah, this team was not this team, admittedly, after
and somehow
number
this team
6.
beat the big three Celtics.
Yeah.
So they had some clutch shots from Meta, Derek Fisher, Lamar. Yeah, if you look at this team, like after it's kind of thin after even Kobe and Powell, right? Like Meta, World Peace, Derek Fisher. I mean, uh, clutchness, role mentality. These guys, anyway. So we
I
know.
think this is the weakest team to repeat.
All right.
Well, one thing that I do want to give Kobe his props for was it wasn't until Powell went to the Lakers that Kobe gave him the mentality to become a champion.
Okay.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true.
Good. Good. Yeah. Good.
Like,
I mean, that's a good allowance. That's
Because a few podcasts ago you were talking about how Kobe's not a good leader. So, here it is.
all right. This is
yes, yes, with the right, you know what?
yeah.
I don't know when Powell came to the Lakers, but it was probably like after Kobe was in hit the league for 10 or 11 years. At that point, Kobe was definitely mature enough to become a leader.
Yeah. This
But
is
those like the comment that I made about Kobe's leadership was more of in his first 10 years, you know.
hey guys, and I
Well,
think
so
that
in
this
his
is
first 10 years, he was on a team with Shaq, right? Who was already an established player. So, he was told to step back and he hated it. That's why he wanted to leave. Then he was on a team with Smush, bro, with Chucky Atkins, with
Mushkalade.
Chris Mim. Okay. If you're gonna fault him for not being a good leader, he still somehow took the Suns to 7 games. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can't see those arguments. I just don't see them.
I can't get a Smushkalade. I can't spell it right. Okay, too bad. All right, fair
Okay,
enough.
well,
All right, let's move
I'm
on.
taking Pau Gasol in front of Damian
Yeah,
Lillard
and I
all
will
day.
say for everyone who's listening out there, this is a good reflection of how our Instagram and the text threads are going, where we're going back and forth, right? What do you guys think out there, honestly? Like if anyone, this is some good stuff. All right.
I love Gasol, but
Just
I'm taking
Yeah,
Dame over Gasol. I'm taking Dame over Gasol.
Pau Gasol, I agree. Pau Gasol is probably my favorite Laker from that era.
all right, let's move on. Let's move on. Um, all right, let's do a couple more. Boy, we're rounding up about 55 minutes. I think
Let's get to 60.
let's get to 60. This is good. This is great. Let's see who's it gonna be. I have no. I'm anticipation is mounting. Let's go. Bob McAdoo. I know nothing about Bob McAdoo.
Let's skip ahead.
Yep.
Next.
Next. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Carmelo. I have
Mark, what do you?
Carmelo Anthony, six-time All NBA, 10-time All Star, one scoring title, two
I have
thumbs
Dame above
down,
him.
two thumbs down. I would take Dame as a career, as a trajectory. I would take Dame over Carmelo. I would take Paul Gasol over Carmelo in their career. But the thing about well, let me ask you this, playing devil's advocate, what makes people what makes the people of making this list, what are the arguments for putting Carmelo ahead of these guys? Is it because of his individual ability to score, the fact that he's like a number one guy like through and through? Like what argument is there to put him ahead of those guys? Is there
I
one?
think he was at his peak, he was one of the greatest offensive players we've seen. He was literally unstoppable.
Right, right.
He was even in New York, he was hitting buckets, man. There were games like this
Point.
guy was just taking it. Uh in Denver, he had an amazing squad. Unfortunately, Kobe stopped him. If Kobe and the Lakers weren't around, maybe Denver would have gotten a ring.
Yeah, the
Those
Lakers
were
own the
those
Lakers
were a
own
real
Denver in those
squad.
years. Yeah.
Those bad boy Denver Thuggets.
The
That was a real
Nuggets.
squad.
What, Kenyon Martin was on there?
Let
Kenyon
me tell you, as a Laker fan, or ex-Laker fan. That series, I think we played them twice, 2 years in a row. I was actually scared they were going to beat us at one point. I hate to admit it, but there was one where I was like, "Ooh, shit, how are we going to pull this off?" And Kobe and the Lakers pulled it off. They beat them.
They had AI on that squad, right? But like AI came over there, right? At that
Kenyon
time.
Martin, Birdman,
And it
Nene,
can be
Can be.
Candy. They had some
Mac.
scary, big, beefy dudes. Their front court was
Chauncey Billups, I think, was on the team that took the
there.
Lakers as
You
far as I
go.
could go.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a very talented. Those were very talented squads,
Looking
but
up
Kobe
who
and
was
the
there.
Lakers
George Karl
stopped.
This,
was their coach. Chucky Atkins, Billups, oh Nene, Hilario Nene, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith was probably
There you go,
balling at that
J.R.
time.
Smith.
Yeah, so I
Another
think
teammate that LeBron won with that Kobe beat. The
okay.
list is on.
So Carmelo though, but like all time great, better than Pau, better than Dame. You know,
this
I
guy reminds me of Dame Lillard. He's like a Dame Lillard that is unloyal, that's not loyal. So he gets pushed back. I'm taking Dame Lillard in front of Carmelo.
All right, let's keep it going.
want to keep going. We can keep moving. All right, let's see. Let's keep moving. I don't.
Carmelo Anthony is like one of my least favorite players.
Why? Well, look, why? Is it his attitude? Is it his like?
It's yeah, just like the excuses he's constantly made, the way he forced his way out of the Nuggets, the way that he forced the Knicks to trade like basically all of their talents so that he could go to one team. He was the first player to force like of that generation to really force his way that kind of started this whole trend.
Yeah,
I actually really liked his rookie year. I remember wishing that he won. Did he win rookie of the year? It was close between
he
him and
probably
LeBron
No,
he
it
because
probably
was
would
because
have
the
said it.
Nuggets.
It would have said it. All right, let's
Yeah,
we can go a couple more. I mean, let's see where we at.
one more.
One more
Oh,
T.
perfect. This is perfect.
T-Mac. I love T-Mac.
Me too.
Okay, well, look,
Yeah,
2001 most improved player, seven-time All-Star, seven-time All-NBA, two-time
yeah.
scoring champ. But why? So it's I've noticed they kind of group players that seem to have like similar attributes. Like, I mean, what makes T-Mac, what makes you guys like T-Mac more than Melo?
I I think that T-Mac is the biggest what if of the past 25 years. He went to Orlando where he was supposed to team up with prime Grant Hill, and Grant Hill was basically injured the whole time he was there, and he was a max contract. And then he went to the Rockets where he was supposed to team up with a prime Yao Ming who was injured the whole time he was there. And by the time anyone got healthy, I think his knees gave out on him. But that 10 years of maybe the last year of the Raptors to the last year of the Rockets, from a talent perspective, man, he was probably the most talented player in the league with the worst injury luck of any teammates. He just could not get on a healthy team ever.
Yeah, I agree with that. If that guy had so much talent and he played both ends of the floor, um, he was a competitor. And he had so I th was it him recently who said like he didn't have talent around him for a lot of his career? He said, was it
Yes.
him? He was like, "Oh, if you put me with Shaq, then I'd win titles."
Yep.
I somewhat agree with that. I don't know if they'd three-peat. Um, but I'm bummed he didn't get a title, but at the same time, injuries and then just the fact that Lakers and Kobe Bryant were in the way, that stopped him.
Yeah. I remember that one year where he was up 3-1 against the Pistons in the first round. I forget what year it was exactly, but he was like, I've never been out of the first round before. And he kind of was saying that they're gonna beat the Pistons and when he was playing in Orlando, and then the Pistons railed off 3 games in a row and they lost that series. And I think that was kind of like a I remember that a lot about T-Mac. I was like, well, you can't count it.
Job's not finished.
Job's not finished. Yeah, but I agree, guys. He was definitely a competitor, a scorer, a clutch player, an alpha guy who he was a great player, But I don't know. I guess I don't see him too differently than maybe on the court anyway. On the court anyway than Carmelo, but just on the court, off the court, maybe with in the locker room or something, or pushing away from other teams. I do see that T Mac maybe was like maybe a better teammate or something, or was not as bad.
I'm taking McGrady over Carmelo. It's not even close. I
Or you
mean, it's
taking
not even.
Lillard over
I'm
Tracy.
taking Lillard over McGrady.
I'm taking
Oh, I'm
Lillard
taking
over.
McGrady over Lillard.
Okay, I'll probably take Lillard over McGrady, all-time great. Um, but
I'm glad they put him this high because, his career, a lot of people would consider as a failure. Um, but the talent was right there. And so I think Bleacher Report did a good job
Well,
putting him above other
then you
players.
should apply that logic to Embiid as well. You
well,
know,
I mean but
talent's there.
Dude, you can't compare Tracy McGrady and Embiid.
No, I'm saying apply the same logic of having a disastrous career, but
yeah,
having talent.
I
Well,
think
no, because
McGrady played more.
I believe that you put Prime McGrady next to the two most injury-prone players of their generation, Grant Hill and Yao Ming. That's
Hmm.
just unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embiid was injury-prone himself, but his teammates were always there. Play, like
Well,
he had a
McGrady
chance.
was also, yeah,
McGrady hurt his knees too a little bit, but
exactly.
I guess that's the beauty of these things. Like and I just kind of going back to what we talked about originally, like, like what is it? Championships? Is it talent around you? Is it scoring? Is it, reputation? There's a lot of factors that are going into like what we're discussing here anyway, between the three of us about, what makes an all-time great player and how you decide to push someone up or down on this list. Okay. So, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, boys. We're really over an hour, but I'm just gonna let you guys, any type of, burning closing remark from Sylvain or from Chu, any type of really kind of thing that doing this, going over the last 11 players from 70 to 59, just doing this podcast together and like kind of talking sports, talking NBA along the way. Anything kind of stick out in your mind that you want to say about like this list or just, what we learned, what we talked about today?
I like where Gasol is rated. I thought it was pretty disrespectful to not have him top 100. On the what list was that? ESPN? I forget.
Mhm. Okay.
I like what I realized going through this list is how much
Go,
situation.
go,
Oh,
choose. Yeah. How much what?
sorry, Slide. I didn't mean to cut it off.
No, all good.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was saying just how situational um uh things are for players and how it affects their career because like Sylvain mentioned, you switch Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. I mean, you have to have that conversation. The Warriors are probably still winning multiple championships. Maybe. I don't know. It's definitely a conversation. You switch you switch Tracy McGrady with Kobe Bryant, the Lakers are probably still winning championships. So um it
Yeah.
really depends on how we look back and reflect on these players.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, well said. Well said. Well said. I
you,
mean,
you know, on how their careers turn out in the end.
look, yeah, we talked about Rodman, and what a good example of someone who life and career were could have been this way or that way, right? So, um, yeah, that was really fun, boys. That was really fun. I mean, we got through 11 of them. I thought we were gonna get through a little bit more, but hey, that's where the banter comes in. That's where the thing is. So, uh, we're gonna wrap it up for the GWP Great Western Podcast episode 12. Continuing through the Bleacher Report Top 100. Maybe we'll get through it one day by the NBA season starting. So hope you guys like it. Again, comment, subscribe, like. Welcome aboard. All right, y'all. Peace.
Later.